Hello and welcome to some more Dyson Sphere Program. I'm Trismegistus, and in this series I am attempting to build my first Dyson Sphere. I have completed the game before, but I did not actually finish the Dyson Sphere, not least of all because we didn't have copy and pasting and I was developing RSI from all the inserter positioning. And also you don't technically need to. You can finish the game without building a Dyson Sphere. I'm just going to... So, actually, we'll load the game up first. I'm going to show off the... Well, not show off. I'm going to show the... Well, the plan for today is to do this, basically. So, the yellow science. So, we will almost certainly do that before, like, halfway into the stream, because I got a little bit of time this week, and as you can see from all the hive of activity, I have prepped this planet in terms of all the resources, so I'm exploiting every... I might miss one or two, I usually do, but we're exploiting this entire planet, basically, so all the resources are ready to go. And, I mean, we would have to do a bit of concreting, because there's not that great... I mean, I'm roughly where we're going to build it, but not that great a build thing. And as per previous ones, I'm going to... use the all of the different options for building the raw materials. So what I mean by that, and what I wanted to show, because I've been referring to it but not actually showing it, not least of all because Sphere, it's got a weird thing with the what do you call it, the in fact, let's bring that over first, right, and then see if I can get OBS to do this correctly. Screen capture. Is my voice still coming through? Yes, it is. Excellent. So this it's a different display, especially screen capture rather than the actual direct game. So hopefully the audio's coming through as well. Yeah, looks like it is. This is basically it's the Factorio Lab calculator, which is my preferred calculator for Factorio. And there are others, and you should look at any, if you want to use ones that you use, and in-game ones and all sorts of stuff. But this is Factorio Lab, which I prefer because I just find the GUI and the presentation a bit easier to understand and a bit easier to do. And basically, it's got calculators for Satisfactory and Factorio as well. So, sorry, and Dyson Sphere Program as well, which is what this is set on. So say it's got Factorio, which is what I normally use, and then it's got the other two very similar popular management games as well. And this is basically what I'm doing. So when we do the planets for the science, we're working on 120 per minute, I think. I keep forgetting. But I think we're doing 120 per minute, and then I'm like doubling up the build, I think that's what I've been doing. I always forget. Once I've done it, it's relatively easy to like double numbers. But the idea is that we're only going to do 60 a minute white cubes, because it's the power issue, really. The producing the energetic, or whatever it calls them, the antimatter stuff is pretty energy intensive. So that's what's going to hold us back. Because I'm not going to be bothered. I'm not going to do some mega base with gigantic numbers. We'll save that for another series. But this is what I'm basically referring to whenever I'm using the calculator, and it tells you basically you put in your different settings of what you're using. So we're up to assembly machine 3s, but I'm not using any level 2 smelters. I'm just on level 1 smelters, and our preference is for extra products. And we're at level 3 belt, basically. So you can set them to whatever you're doing. Whether you're going with level 2 proliferation or whatever, and use the different settings. You will occasionally, if the recipe doesn't have the extra products option, you sometimes have to manually set it. And I say what I'll be doing, like as we're building these, I'm actually building each because there's several options for building a lot of stuff. So organic crystals, you can just mine them out of the organic veins. So we are doing that. We will be doing that, and that's what's here. So that's one option. But you can also make them out of plastic. And what's the other one that's a good example? So the energetic graphite you can make out of oil and also from coal. So we'll be setting both those up, and I'm also requesting it. So the idea is it's like a belt, braces, and suspenders, and every single option you've got for keeping your trousers up is what we've got going on. It's basically to future-proof it so that, you know, if one of them runs out or causes problem with production, there's other options for filling in. So it's almost like once these planets are set up, I can just forget about them. Is my intention, basically. So, but yeah, I thought I'd show that and just sort of, if anyone isn't aware about that calculation. Obviously, you can add on. So we've just got yellow cubes. You can add all your cubes in if you want. You know, if you're doing like mass production of a mass smelting planet or something like that instead, you can work out all of your sum total numbers if you want for your production thing. But yeah, so that's what I'm referring to when I talk about the numbers. And I will keep that open so that I can refer to it. Just shrinking it down so that... Why is that still open? How's that? There we go. So I can see it and also make sure the stream is still live. Always useful when you're streaming to be live. Let's flip that view. There we go. Cover my face over so that I don't end up accidentally staring at it. I can still see that the audio is coming through, and yeah, cool. Okay, so we're back to normal. And as I say, the plan is to build the yellow cubes, but as I say, I've already set up this whole. Are we getting the piss cube? Yes, we should be getting the piss cube today. I say this planet is all exploited. In fact, this whole system is exploited. So. If we go there, you know, as you can see there's stuff flying about. So I've been and mined all of the stuff up. You know, I've set up some, water pumps, as it calls them, for the sulfuric acid and all that. So this whole system is done. And if we get them, well, when I expect we get done, we will go, if I can find it, to, where is it? There, is it that one? Don't feel like that's the right one. Maybe it is. I thought it began with a P. It must be that one. But I found a magma planet, basically, in my explorings. It's taken ages. As you can see, it's way, way, way away from the home planet. So this is the home system. And this has got a magma planet on it. So what we'll do, if and when we finish the yellow science today, is we'll head over there and we'll exploit our first magma planet. Because, as I say, I've not been able to play with those yet. Because I just haven't been able to find one, basically. And you can't just plop them down in, you know, you can't dig a massive hole in the planet and stick them in there. So yeah, we will do the piss cubes, as you say. Crazy Bacon here, welcome back, by the way. And then we will go and play with that. And my intention is to set it up with the whole battery system, and I'll probably manufacture the batteries on that planet and send them out, basically. Because I'm not anticipating we'll probably like basically when we've got science back up and running, we'll kind of just rattle through these, and then I'll focus on doing the Dyson Sphere, because I've got so many planets exploited. It's a bit nuts, actually. I don't really need to do much more in terms of the artificial star powering and stuff. But yeah, so, okay, so what are we doing? We are going to have to put a bunch of foundation down. Let's use that. We don't want it to be red, though. Let's just make it yellow. It's not a very nice colour, but we'll have a look-see. Which is north? That is north, okay. So it's basically the same idea as the other builds I've been doing, is what I'm thinking. So I get this sort of flattened up. Oops. I hate that you can't undo builds. It's like a worse version of Factorio's landfill from that perspective. But yeah, let's make ourselves a bit of space. But yeah, same basic idea where it's just going to be a few labs at one end and the stuff being fed into them at the other end, basically. Right, so have I even got the labs? I have not, have I? It should be in one of these, though. Can't remember which one. Oh. Oh. looks like I have not ordered them up. Oh, that's annoying. Okay, let's order the labs up then. Where are they? There they are. Quick demand. Cool. So it'll take a little minute to. But Dyson Spheres are cool. Yeah. I mean, I say we'll make a Dyson Sphere. That's what I'm trying to do. But I'm not planning on doing, you know, lots and lots of Dyson Spheres. Right. So I guess we can set the other stuff up. Right. Let's do one of them and plop it down. I mean, I guess if I did want to double it up, because I can't actually remember whether I have doubled them up. I think we're in a reasonable spot from... Yeah, because the bands at the equator are much more generous with, you know, the building, you know, the segments, as it were. I seriously haven't got any labs. One thing I've forgotten. Brilliant. Right, so in that case, I can't even... In fact, I didn't calculate. So we need 13 in theory, or 12.8, but we might as well do sort of 14. Are they here yet? They're usually quite quick. Oh, wrong end. Usually quite quick. For some reason, it's very, very quiet for me, the game. Seems to change every time I play it. Yes, here we go. So we can pop them to that. I'll just grab up. That's way too many, but we'll grab them. Right, so it's obviously got 2 ingredients and an output. So let's try and get it roughly aligned so that we can sort of output directly in. There we go. And then say we need sort of 12.8, which is a bit of a rubbish number. So perhaps if we do, what would be the closest? I mean, we could do 2. Why have I done 3? We could do 14. I mean, it sort of doesn't matter. I mean, also we're going to be producing more than the other things anyway, so we might as well have the ability to eat all of the products. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, there we go. So that's the lamps, so we need to set them to yellow. We do want extra products. Set that to yellow. I say these are not spectacular designs, but I say hopefully easily copyable. If I do decide to nuts double things up. I think everyone's playing Elden Ring today, aren't they? I am not really a Dark Souls player as such. For some, I don't know about odd reasons, but I never really get on with like melee type combat in games. I usually prefer to get them roughly. Oh, I don't even want it there anyway. Oh, I could. Well, actually, we could do. No, it needs to be a little bit further over. So that we can get some proliferation going. Out there maybe. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of melee type combat, and they're always. I know well, I believe Bloodborne is more. You can do a lot more guns, and obviously I think they have bows and all that sort of stuff. But it's that general thing of hitting things with swords and clubs has never really been my cup of tea. And then if you add in this whole, you know, super hard. In fact, what am I ordering up? So we want yellow cubes in there. And we want proliferation here. And we want yellow cubes of diamonds and organic crystals. I think they're called. Are they called? No, they're called titanium crystals. That's what they're called. So I want 200 of them. Do I want to just fill them? I think I probably do. But let's leave it for a second. If that's supply, then that's all fine, isn't it? We could set this up. I don't think I did this. So where's our thing? Is that one? Yeah, I think that's the one, isn't it? So if we order them up here, yellow, and that wants to be local demand. Supply, we've got bots in. Cool. Yeah, I never really kind of interested me. I say, you take the factor of type of combat it is, and then everyone, you know, obviously says it's hard. Although, as I understand, it's not hard as such. It's more like the fact that you have to learn all the attack patterns and all that sort of stuff. Oh, no, you're going to be weird at me, are you? Yes, that just needs to be one back. Yeah, there we go. So there we go. About as boring as designs can get, but that's kind of the point of this, really. Let's put that there. And we can order that in already. Get that prepped. Cool. Yeah, and then say it's easily doubleable, uppable. Yeah, I sort of heard that, or rather the sort of rumour on Elden Ring was that it was going to be easier, but I think that's a load of rubbish from the reviews. I think it's just that because it's an open world, you can go and bang your head against a different problem, which I don't classify as being easy. Or easier. But anyway, that'll do for Elden Ring chat, I think. So, not massively interested in that. Well, the games industry does seem to have decided that February is the time to release things, because we've had... I guess it's with all the delays from the pandemic stuff, but we've had Horizon. What else has there been? Was that Sifu everyone was interested in? Not my cup of tea was Total War came out. Right, so that'll do as a starting point. Now, as I say, we need to make basically everything from all the different options. I'm not actually requesting diamonds in directly, I don't think. So we'll make them locally. Yeah, no, it's just the basic things. Yeah. So these essentially will be independent builds, but essentially making exactly the same products. So it's a bit weird, but as I say, it's sort of a belt and braces approach. So the idea with this is we'll make... Oh, that's a point, actually. We could make it from kimberlite as well, couldn't we? Oh, sorry. Yeah, okay, let's do that as well then. So if I order up... Because I've mined up all this kimberlite and I'm not using it anywhere, so... Let's do that as well. So we've got a spare slot somewhere? In fact, am I... Yeah. So I want a remote demand that, local supply... Yeah, okay, so we can have that as an option as well. And then... I think we'll proliferate all of these, but I'll do it where I feed it all up. You know, we'll just sort of cannibalize it from the first one. So if we make this a bit bigger. At some point I'm going to have to build a big planet making that as well. What am I looking for? I'm looking for drones. Put them in there. It's got no power, has it? No. Okay. So if we make this one the kimberlite one. So I won't switch them to demand just yet. But what's the ratios on this one? Isn't it better? Oh, it's not better. Right, let's have a look at how many we actually need in theory. So in theory we would need In fact, I'll swap this recipe over and get the proper one. Oh, so I forgot you could even do Kimberlite. So, according to this, we would need 1.3 diamond vein. Huh. Why do I calls it a diamond? I guess it's just easier for the back end. But it's not, it calls it a diamond vein on the calculator. It's actually Kimberlite ore. But yeah, so it's just one, basically. One arc smelter making diamonds out of Kimberlite, basically. So we'll do two. Because I'm sort of doubling up everything as well. This is so over cautious and overproduced. It's almost comical, really. But there we go. Right, so we'll do the output of there, and then input going that way. Don't know why I made them so big if we're just doing two, but there you go. Do my usual trick, a bit of a space. Flip that to Kimberlite. And we want input and output. Just plop that in there. Oh yeah, you won't do that, will you? Do it that way around then. And then that wants to be output, that wants to be input. And that's it. Right. Okay. Done. And we want to proliferate, because these are rare. I mean, it calls it a rare vein, so let's try and make the most of it. Let's put that there. Should be able to go up from there. Up a level. You happy with that? Yeah, looks good. So let's put a power thing there. In fact, put it there. Cool. So you can. Well, let the proliferation juice come in first, I think. Right. So next one. Let's do diamonds the normal way, which would be. Let's change the recipe. 1 second. Recipe. Diamond. Wait, what happened? Turn that off. Okay, so for this version, we need 3 smelters. So I say we'll make 6. Because I have no sense of proportion. Is that going to be enough room? I'll probably move some of these power ones once we've got everything done. Right, so if we're only doing 6 machines, this is going to be carbon tubes, that's more diamonds, you want bots. It's like bots, you don't need that many bots in, but what the heck. I say let's future-proof everything. And so it's 6, it's going to be somewhere there-ish, isn't it? Like that. And then it's just smelters, isn't it, I think? Is that right? Yeah. And then put that there. Select that so we can put that all the way around, please. Connect that up. So. Okay, and. How did I can't remember which way around I did the things. Oh, let's just do that. And then 3 on each side gives us the 6. Cool. Did I demand that? I didn't, did I? But the juice is here, so let's get that demanded. And we'll demand that. Cool. Next one then is the producing the actual whatchamacallit, the graphite, whichever one it calls it, which is this one. How big a space did I leave there? Sort of as close as I could get it, wasn't it? I think. Yeah. So this is just going to be coal, making graphite. Coal out of there. Graphite in. Which, now did I set the recipe as coal on this? I think I put it as oil. So let's switch it over. See what the number is. Oop. Oop. So we want 5. So it's 6 again, basically, I think. Yeah. Righty-ho. The other thing, I mean, I'll be honest, one of the reasons I'm doing this sort of slightly bizarre overproduction is I want to know how it manages it, because you have so few tools sort of for managing the production. Kind of want to know how smart it is, because we may well get some tools. They may give us some. So that must be in, and that must be out. You know, some. You know, like equivalent of logistics settings or logistics, you know, management things. I certainly need a new version of the production management tab, because that's atrocious. This one, I mean, this is awful. So if I put one of these, maybe... Is there somewhere I can get that it gets all 3 of these builds? I don't think there will be. Oh, no? I think that'll power them all. Cool, excellent. And this needs to be demand, doesn't it? Did I set the thing properly? So I've got proliferation juice. You're not doing anything. Why is that? I mean, we could boost that up, but it's sort of pointless. Yeah, let's put this to demand. Because we've made diamonds in all of the ways possible, or sort of the basic options. So we've got kimberlite going on. We've got graphite, whatever it calls it, smelting going on. Oh, there's no bots in it. Is that why? Okay. Because there's loads of coal on this planet as well, you see. 13.6 million nearly. And that's without having done any real, you know, the big vein boosting. So it should last a while. Let's just see it make a bit. Cool, bit is made. So what I'm curious about is, does it switch? And what I've seen so far, it does switch, because I am ordering that in, the carbon stuff. But you know, will it switch over? Because it's all bringing it in, you know, from the big logistics hub. Is it going to start providing it from here? This is the question. And it does seem to be smart enough to do that. It does take it a little while, I think, because the orders get sort of stacked up in a way. And it's interesting, it's bringing these in. Is that coming in from the big hub? I think it is, isn't it? That's interesting. Because say there's loads of coal here. So some coal is coming from these ones here. But it is still taking from the interstellar ones. That's interesting. And that's still pulling from the interstellar as well. You see, what I would prefer to have is some kind of option. I mean, you can sort of do it, because you can do this transport range. You can sort of limit that. But it can get a bit confusing, because 180 degrees, obviously, is like effectively the entire planet. Well, is it the entire planet? Because it means 180 in either direction, or all directions. And what I think it does, if you set this, say, to 10... Oh, you can only go down to 20, there you go. It will then only pick from within that area, but it doesn't have any visual representation of that. Oh, there you go, so it is nipping over there now. But yeah, let's just leave it not charging power at 180. And I say, you know, it's almost counterintuitive that, or counterproductive that, in the sense that if I wanted to build the smelting over here, then that would, you know, and I tried to limit the distance, it would still include these, you know. It's sort of a, I don't know, not fully convinced how useful that system is, but that's what it offers. So, right, let's leave a little bit of room in case we did have to sort of come and double this up. For some reason, I did go nuts and we decided to do huge volumes of science. I say I'm not limiting it because producing the normal science cubes is difficult. It's more because producing the power and for the whatever it calls them, energetic photons, the whole antimatter stuff, is rather tricky. Right, so we've got all of the whatchamacallit. So now we want to make titanium crystals. And we've only got one recipe for those. Yeah. But we've got lots of different ways of making organic crystals. So we'll do all of those, basically. We could just siphon the juice, you know, the proliferation stuff over, but let's do a separate lot here, because we've only got the one. Oh no, we can't do, can we? Because we need three things. Because we need those three. Yeah, we'll just pull it round when we need it, sort of thing. And what are my numbers? What are my numbers? So we've done the diamonds. So we turn that off. So now we're on to the organic crystals. And we want 4. Well, 3.5, but 4. So let's double that to 8. I suppose really it would be 7, but 8's a nice round number. And we need tiny numbers of everything, so we're not going to struggle for belt volumes. How do I want to do this though? Because if we do maybe, I think we'd do the output on the outside maybe. Yeah, because then we can have the, the inputs here. Oh no, we could just do that, couldn't we? Have the organics there. Because it's low volume stuff, so I don't need to feed it, a million things at once. So we'll just do that, I think. Does that work? Or am I going to have to? I'm going to have to stagger the. I never like doing that. Always looks pretty blooming awful. Because there's no, if you put two opposite each other, because I've only got 3 inputs, you end up blocking it no matter what. So if you did that, that, and that, this one here can't get at one of the things because there's no input point for it. So you have to just slightly stagger them. I mean, well, there's other ways of doing it, obviously. But, yeah. That's what I usually do to get around that problem. But what I'm thinking instead is, why don't we have the two. In fact, let's put that one there. Oops. That one there. And then we'll have the outputs going around the back. Yeah, because this is going to be elevated anyway, so that's not a problem. Okay, so let's get them again. So leave a bit of space for proliferation. I've got a proper excuse for doing that now. Before it was just me being daft. In fact, let's put that there. We don't need that much room. Organic crystals, rather titanium crystals, and then output around the back, basically. Oops. That there. And now you see we can get. Let's do that. That. Up there. You there. Output there. So how many? I think it was. Oh. It was 8, wasn't it? In there. No. There. Copy that over. Copy that down. Right, proliferation. Action, proliferation. There we go. Now, do I want to put that? Yeah, let's leave a little bit of a gap in case I have to do. Yeah, let's put it there. Yeah. So, we want another output here of proliferation juice. And we want it sufficiently far over. Yeah, that's fine. Do the upper level. Just there. Let that flow through. Yep. Set this to demand. No, to demand. It won't bring. We need to build that. It should have those though. Got the bots. And let's assume we can do some sort of power thing again. Eventually in the middle somewhere, but we'll just plop this here. Oh, plop this here then. Get everything running. So I'm sure that... Oh, that's right in the way of the proliferator, isn't it? Oh, that's annoying. I think it's going to be... Are you going to power everything there? Yes, you are. Okay. So should be bringing... Yeah, organic crystals, because we got them, again, being mined up locally. Because it's got 2.1 million of them here. But I'm also requesting them in from here as well. So it's belt, braces, suspenders, and anything else you could possibly imagine to hold your trousers up. We are doing. There. Now, titanium. We need, in theory, 6.2 smelters, which is 14 basically. Yeah. The question here, I mean, that's 14 with proliferation. I've got so much titanium, it's bonkers. Basically, every system I've gone to has got like 20 million titanium on it. It's a bit sort of... I was a bit worried we might run out of iron, you know, before I'd really got like all the, you know, infinite vein type things going. Because a lot of the planets have only got like 1 million iron on them, which is not a lot. You know, we're going to need a lot to build the Dyson Sphere and the solar sails. Oh, go on, I'll just proliferate it. Might as well. It's, you know, it's going to run across there anyway, so What the hell? Right, so if I only need... What would that be? 0.6 of a belt. Yeah, so one belt will be fine, won't it? Yeah, one belt will be fine. Okay, right. So this is going to be the titanium. Titanium. Let's put the bots in for now. Output there. So it'll have to be a bit longer, I think, this one. Autosave. Put that there. And then, say, leave a bit of room so we can proliferate. So let's put that there. Smelt some titanium. So, if that's the output, well, that's the input. Is that rotationally symmetrical? Yeah. So that's 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, was it? Well, 6.2, so 7's fine. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Cool. Oops. Undo key would also be very helpful for when you've been a doofus like I am. Alright. What am I doing? So... Oh, proliferation. Proliferation. That's the output. Oops. Collide with what? Okay. Whatever. So let's plot one of them there just to get it all charged up. Do a demand. Again, how many's... Oh, so this has only got 435,000 on it, but imagine if we go full system. There you go, 16.3 million titanium. 10.0 million titanium. So we got 26 million titanium. Plus whatever, well, yeah, 26.5, 27, something like that, million titanium. Yeah, nearly 27 million titanium. And I say, basically, and this is, you know, basically all of my systems have got that. I don't know if that's deliberate or it's like just because obviously there's RNG involved and the settings you use at the beginning and all that sort of stuff. Have we made any of them? You running? Is it really coming in that slowly? Why is that so slow? 2, 4, 6, 8, 14. Oh, I'm not looking at the wrong thing, am I? No, that's right. That's interesting. I can always add another one of these. I'll just double, you know, increase the length. It's interesting that they're pulling it, you know, off the belt before it's actually getting to them. Have I messed up the... I have, haven't I? So no, it wasn't rotationally symmetric. That was completely incorrect. That's why it's not working. What did I do wrong? So that was that one. That was that one. So if that was rotated... Oh, of course it's 2 belts, isn't it? So it's Yeah. That's inserting and that's it. Yeah. Okay. Right, so that should double our production rate. There we go. These are starting to get some now. Except this one. Why are you not getting it? Oh, you are. Cool. Have we made some yellow... No, we have not. Why have we not made any yellow cubes? Oh, because I didn't set that to do. Okay, so in theory we're there. But I say I want to make organic crystals using the other methods as well. As I say, just as a sort of belt and braces type approach. So say titanium's now fine. So what we want to do is make... well, yeah. Why don't I switch that recipe to X-ray cracking as well? Turn off the coal one. Does that work? So to make all titanium crystals, we would need 6.2 chemical labs making organic crystals, which obviously needs to be 14. Oh well, you know, 12.4. So we might as well do 14. And then we would 5 need making plastic. Oh, we're going to need water. Okay. Of course we are. But yeah, we need like 10 plasma refineries as well to process it into refined oil, and then 4 into graphite or graphene or whichever it calls it. Okay, so let's do the organic crystals from plastic first. So where am I going to put this? Yeah, let's just build it because we need water as well. So I don't want to delete the entirety of this lake. But the water's needed for the organic crystals, is it? Or is it needed for the... Oops. It is. Okay. Because the chem labs are obviously quite big. So I'm wondering if we make them here. Yeah, okay. So let's do that then. So we need to be there. And I can just grab this water basically. I need like 2 or 3 pumps, I think. Yeah. Now, what are the recipes for this? So this is organic crystals. Because I've no desire to store the water as such or move that around, so we can just feed that in directly. You know, rather than put it in the thingy, the logistics thing. But we then need plastic and light oil. So we need plastic and refined oil. So those are 2 separate builds, basically. So it gets a bit more interesting. Now, if we put this sort of here, then that should give us enough room for proliferation. And what I'm thinking is we go three outputs there, and then I hop this over. Oh, thank you, Jick PS9 for the raid. Welcome to the stream. Hope Hope you're doing well. What were you just playing, Jack? Was it Dyson Sphere or something else? Right. Oh, maybe you weren't playing anything. But thank you for the raid either way. So, and DSP just needs to take a break for lunch. Oh, cool. Yeah, so I'm thinking I hop the water into the middle. Why do I need 3 lanes then? Oh, because I got the plastic and the refined oil as well. I mean, I could just attach it there, couldn't I? It doesn't need to be on the edge. Just do that, basically. Firehammer1234, thank you very much for the information. He ran off to deal with his kid. There he is. And welcome to the stream. I assume you're I mean, Jack, if you're there, sort of thing, and Firehammer, both you. I assume you're both Dyson Sphere players, or certainly viewers at least. Just wondering, sort of how far you've got, basically. It's always sort of quite interesting to know, sort of. I think this game. So just to explain, Factorio's sort of my main game, and I play that at weekends and sort of played that loads and loads and loads. But it's always fascinating with that game how far people have got, because you get a lot of people who've played for hundreds of hours without ever actually completing it and are perfectly happy with that. But I don't think this game's quite like that. It's more sort of, I think everyone who... Is that going to fit in there? So if that was there... we might have to get a bit spaghetti with that. I can always move these up a bit. It says... oh, sorry, Firehammer. So, Yabanubi, only 2,004 hours in this game so far. Wow, okay. That's a lot more than me. I basically played through... So, this series, I'm trying to actually build a Dyson Sphere. When the game first came out, I played it through to the mission completion technology. So, I completed the game, but we didn't have, and it sounds like you probably played from that point as well, but we didn't have any of the copy and paste or anything like that. So I started to get, I mean, I suffer from carpal tunnel anyway, and all of the clicking to put all of the inserters on just was absolute murder, basically. So I never actually built a Dyson Sphere. I just did the research to, finish the game. So yeah, so this time, now that we've got all the copy and paste functions, trying to actually build one. Will that go across there? That's not the most attractive thing, but there we go. Currently sitting on around a gigawatt of power from a sphere, trying to improve my iron plate production. Okay, I really need to go back to my playthrough of Factorio as well. Yeah, I mean, I say, it's my sort of, what would I call it? Well, it's my favourite game of all time, Factorio. I absolutely adore it, and that game I've got, thousands of hours in. But I say this, it's more like, I guess maybe 50 or something in total. Mission complete. That's basically the tutorial. Yeah, I know. I mean, that's what they're intending, isn't it? Because there's this. I don't know if I can access it easily, but there's that whole Milky Way thing, I think they call it, where it's basically all the power production of everyone who's playing. And I think their intention is that people will, build, make them, make terawatts of, power from, a dozen Dyson Spheres and all that sort of stuff. Which, what happened there? I need, how many of these do I need? I need 7 on each side. Okay, So 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. But yeah, so I mean, the other thing to sort of note on it, I don't, even in Factorio, I mean the first thing I started streaming, I'll get my tongue in here in a minute, but the first thing I started streaming was a whole series where I was trying to do my first mega base, because I've never really done huge scale production in Factorio. I always get a bit bored. And just sort of starting again is more interesting usually to me than just, you know, scaling up and scaling up. Particularly once you've got, you know, all your blueprints worked out, just sort of copy and pasting has never really appealed that much to me. But yeah, that series sort of revealed a few flaws in my logic. I mean, I was seeing it as a huge, you know, achievement. People hitting, you know, well, what is it now? Someone's got 50,000, I think, is the biggest production number in Factorio, which is just insane. But you know, doing 1,000, it's always, you know, been impressive to me. I just never had the willpower, in a sense, to you know, sort of grind it through. And this series I did streaming kind of proved that point, in the sense that I got a bit bored with it by the end, but it also revealed a lot of sort of problems with, in a sense, how I play the game if I want to do scale. Why am I doing all of them? Hang on, let's get this right. So if that's there, then that's there. Yeah, that's fine. Right, let's copy that down. So now I'm doing another series where I'm building, because I never had standard blueprints, because designing is like the thing I enjoy the most. So I would always try and do that fresh each time. But that whole series revealed that that's not, if you're going to do mega, but you need to have some, you know, pre-existing blueprints, really. Because I spent half that series before I even launched a rocket. And so then doing, you know, the same amount of time on the top was just not very fun, basically. That was kind of one of the big problems. Actually, I'm going to need more than that, aren't I? 1 point... Oh, no, that should be okay. Oh, and I put that right in the way. Probably move these later on, anyway. Cool. No, my true playtime on DSP, my first playthrough was on a parody copy. I bought it a month ago, as this really deserves the money. Yeah, it's one of the things, it's always tricky to say or make that point, I think. I fully agree. Games like this, you know, I mean, Satisfactory as well, and I say Factorio in particular, to me, it almost feels like you're robbing the developers, for me, because, you know, when you love a game that much, like, you know, like I do basically, and you just play it over and over again, and literally thousands and thousands of hours. And well, when I bought it, it wasn't even, it was before the price rise, so it was like, I'm not sure, it wasn't £15, which would be about €20, or I guess $20, something like that. But I mean, you know, the price per hour of gameplay is literally, you know, 1/100 of a penny or something. It's so ridiculously good value. I mean, obviously not everyone gets that much, you know, doesn't enjoy it that much, and you know, it's not their cup of tea, or they prefer this, or, you know. But for me personally, it's like, it feels like I'm robbing the developers, you know. But also fully appreciate people don't have the money, even that's, you know, that amount of money, you know. So it's always difficult to say it's underpriced, because for some people it isn't. For some people it's too expensive, even at that price. Oh, bum. Trying to keep them nice in the squares at least. But yeah, it's like the expansion. I don't know if you guys know about that. Factorio expansion that's meant to be coming, but they did a recent blog post with a little bit of detail, not a lot, to be frank, but a little bit. And it's going to cost the same again, so it's basically another £30 or euros, but they've said it's going to be about the same size as the base game, which again just feels underpriced. You know, it's like, and they're kind of morally opposed, as I understand it. They're sort of bit morally opposed to things like microtransactions, but you know, at least when there's that type of thing, and you've, you know, like me, you've got a little bit of disposable income, you could at least pay a bit more than, you know, people who just can't afford it. But you don't have that option if they don't sell they don't sell cosmetics or anything. Right, so what am I actually doing here? I guess first off, how do I want to do this? Because one is why it just didn't have the money. Yeah, I say, you know, it's always that tricky thing of, you know, if you've not got the money, then you know, you can't afford it, can you? It's not in a sense your fault, as it were. It's always the argument. I mean, not wanting to go on a weird tangent about piracy and stuff. It's always that problematic argument for me that companies make where they say, "Oh, we're losing, you know, tens of thousands of pounds in pirated copies," and it's like, well, you're probably not, because the people who are pirating it, if that option wasn't there, they just wouldn't buy it. It's not like they're doing it. I mean, some people do, I know, but you know, I think it acts more like an extended demo really than a lost sale type of thing. And if your game's good enough, people, you know, will save up and get it. Right, so I think what I'm going to do, yeah, so we'll have a separate build of plastic, and then I'll have a separate area where I process the oil. And I think we'll build that. So we don't need this, but I think it's interesting exercise. We'll build the oil, you know, I was going to call it oil smelting. It's not smelting, is it? Oil production there, I think. So how many plastic machines do I need? In theory, I need 5, so we need to double that because of how I'm doing things. So we want 10. Is that enough belt size? Yeah, that'll be okay. I'm probably going to have to get rid of hydrogen on this planet as well. Streamed a piracy game, so open about it, that the plan was to buy it if I enjoyed it enough. So basically it was free advertisement. The game was down on my wish list, so I'm waiting for them. Yeah, I mean, say, I don't sort of, I mean, and you know, as you can't tell, I'm a bit of an older gamer, shall we say. Old fart, basically. As I would say in the UK, I don't know where you're from, whether that expression is just a weird one, but when I was a kid, you're talking back in the, well, the first computer I had was an Amstrad, but it was the Spectrum era, if you've ever heard of those. So basically, I guess it would be the NES, although I never knew anyone with a Nintendo Entertainment System, a NES. But like Mega Drives was kind of the, you know, when I was sort of in high school, basically, so secondary school. And I don't think, I mean, I think I bought like 10% of the games I owned, because I mean, we were kids and we didn't have, proportionally, games were more expensive. Well, those games were. Spectrum games were really cheap. They're only like £5 each, which is still, you know, that's, you're talking 30 years ago, so there's a lot of inflation there. But Amiga games were like £25-30, which, I say, if you work out inflation, makes them about, I think, about £75-80 each equivalent. I mean, I certainly only used to get, I think I got £4 pocket money, basically. So, you know, you're talking a big proportion of sort of my annual income, as it were. I did proliferate everything there, didn't I? Yeah. So this is going to be plastic. So in, out, okay. Da-da-da-da. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, so I say, you know, pirating was kind of how I played games, basically, because should we do it down the middle? Just do a bit of a different build. So I say, I wouldn't ever really criticise anyone for doing that, because they are expensive things. It's not, you know, it's not a cheap hobby. So one of these, I think it's a much more like nuanced argument. The whole, you know, microtransactions are bad and all that sorts of things. I get certainly the point that, you know, if you're buying a game for a full AAA price, then it also having microtransactions and all of that stuff is probably a bit beyond the pale. It's a bit that's a bit much, really. But if it's a free-to-play game and stuff, you know, it's like that's a different equation. And I know there's these things about, you know, whales and all that sort of stuff, which are problematic terms. But the reality is, if you watch some of these GDC talks, where they, you know, explain it all, it really is it's like a small proportion of players basically pay for everybody else. And the reality is they do have the money to do it. You know, it's not, you know, there are obviously people with gambling problems and all that sort of stuff. But say the real reality is that, you know, it actually is a small proportion of people with a lot of disposable income, and it's because they see it as their hobby. You know, that game, they really like it. Well, like I was just saying, where I would happily pay more for Factorio, but I can't, sort of thing, and they just have that option then. You know, it's that thing of, you know, if you're making £1 a week, you know, then a £5 microtransaction is disproportionately a lot. If you're making £100,000 a week, it's basically nothing. So feels like this is wrong somewhere, and I'm not quite sure where. Okay, let's just demand that in and demand that in. Demand. Wait, so that needs... Oh, right, so they both need refined oil, do they? Huh. Interesting. No, but anything like loot boxes in any game I make, I don't like that. I do rely on people going issues to make games for life. Yeah, I mean, you're a game developer then, aren't you? Yeah, I mean, you know, it's you know, it's not. There are issues with it. I say I'm not, you know. I mean, I think loot boxes are poor. You know, that's a poor way of doing microtransactions. But I'm at foundation. I think some of the other options are, you know, better. It's a very tricky area because, you know, you do end up, if that's your monetization system, you do end up, you know, designing your game so that people will want them, you know. And I mean, a lot of mobile games, I don't think I've found a mobile game that I've enjoyed, really, if I'm honest, because it's just not. I think they're often more designed for like short burst play, effectively, and that doesn't tend to be how I play games. You know, I've always found games where you're meant to play it for 10 minutes and then come back, you know, half an hour later, that sort of thing. and you know, it just doesn't engage me. What am I doing here? So I'm going to be processing oil, but do I want to process everything all at once, or do I want to do a half and half? Because I need to make, basically I need to process raw oil into you know, refined oil, and I guess hydrogen. That's the recipe, isn't it? Let's plot one down. Oil refinery. Let's just plot one down from there. So I need to do that recipe, which gets me the refined oil and hydrogen. And then I also need to do this recipe. No, I don't. That's the wrong one. That one. I mean, I don't need to, as I say. But I'm going to. But do I do them going into one? Or do I split them up? That's the question. Because we could have... I think I need to split them up because I've not got the options, as it were. Because, yeah, we would have hydrogen there. So we need a second one. It's all a bit weird, this, in a sense, in that I'm sort of... I could be belting things across, but so I kind of want to test some things out with the old. That's not in the right place, is it? Okay. Let's copy that over. And then move it over. So where have I done it? Oh, it's on that thing there, isn't it? Okay. Pop a second one down. Change the recipe. So this one is going to do that and get out carbon, hydrogen. So I think I'm then going to have to get rid of the hydrogen, basically, or make it available for export because there'll be too much. This is sort of the problem of this, in that, I mean, it's not a problem because I don't need the hydrogen for the other production, so it is literally just a byproduct, isn't it? So it's the question of the balancing, basically. How does it handle that? Because there's a very good chance, in fact a high likelihood, that it will gum up because I've got so much hydrogen in the various places. Loot boxes are better if earned in game than real money spent on them. Yeah. I mean, they did start that way. I mean, you know, in a sense, I know EA got the absolute, you know, an absolute battering when they kind of said it, but they were sort of right in that there appears to be. Oh, that's just a station. But things like Tombola. If you're not from the UK, how do I explain Tombola? So it's basically like Lucky Dip. So it's Lucky Dip, basically. Former like a Lucky Dip. And that is, you know, people are doing that for years, but it is still, you know, it's technically taken as gambling, basically. What am I after? I'm after an oil refinery. Now we do want to leave a bit of space. Oh, I've got to do. I'm going to take proliferation out of here again, aren't I? That's a bit rubbish. But yeah, it's the same sort of idea as say Tombola or. In fact, I don't need, because I'm not doing any of these weird, complicated designs I've done before. We just have these lined up, can't we? Yeah, because I can just put all three there. So we can have raw, input. Yeah. Hydrogen. You don't actually, if you're putting them in, you don't actually need to do that filter them. Because it's only if it backs up you'll have a problem. And if it backs up, it backs up. It's like, you know, if it's full of hydrogen, you're not going to be making stuff anyway. So But yeah, let's just do that for now. Now, did I need 12 of these or something? Or 10? But then... Look at it trying to grab the things. I'm going to have to put these on both sides, aren't I? Otherwise it's going to get nuts. And then I'm going to need a gap. Well, that's annoying. What arrangement do I like? So, what I could do is put them on sideways. Because I say we don't need these complicated, you know, things I've done before where it feeds into other machines and stuff. So we do that, and then if you turn it round, they should be misaligned. Is my memory? So if we put it there, it's effectively automatically misaligned. Yeah, there we go. So on that one, and we want input there, output there, other output there, input there. Oh, which way round did I do them? Hydrogen for that one. Oil there. Cool. Alright, let's extend these belts out. Two, three, four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7. Did I grab some more? I did. Let's just do 2, see if that'll fit. So 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We'll take that as fitting. It is 10, isn't it? Check again. Yeah, 10 with speed up juice. Oh? Oh, that's the... What? Oh, of course it's two things, isn't it? 2 returns. Oops. There we go. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. Super. I think I'll try and set this one up first, I think, rather than power everything up and get it working. So we want same thing basically. Okay. Oops, missed. So don't we? Or do we? Because this recipe requires hydrogen, doesn't it? So if that was... Is that lined up there? This recipe... Yeah, it requires hydrogen. But it gives us hydrogen as an output. Okay. But less hydrogen. What I would normally do is I would normally feed some of these directly into these. And effectively have these downstream from these. So how could we do that? Because we want... We could use a splitter system, I guess. Yeah. I think maybe if we have the... Let me think. Because we can have... Because I also want to proliferate it, you see. It's just anticipating space problems. Well, we know we want the oil there. And we want the feedback of the carbon things there. So we know that bit's fixed. The other bit we want to do is some kind of arrangement with a... Oops, why did you go there? A splitter, I would suggest. Because we basically want to feed in the output. Let me think. So if we had... Because basically we need an output version of the hydrogen. And a return version of the hydrogen. So we could have that just feed straight into the thingy. But we run the risk, in previous experience, of it basically filling up the thing and them not having anywhere to go. I mean, we could take a secondary input. Let's give that a go. So we can have hydrogen coming out the middle here. Yeah, so it behaves a bit funny, I find, with some of these things where that you think it should work, basically. And it doesn't quite work. So if this is the input of hydrogen, and this is the output of hydrogen, we could then have an immediate input. It's basically just if it overflows, there's so much hydrogen, then excess will go back in. But say, if this is full, then it could just grind to a halt. We'll see how that works. See how that works. Right. So you then want input of that, output of carbon in the middle, input of hydrogen. But no, I couldn't just put it on storage. I mean, what I could do is feed that across there. Because we know that's coming out, don't we? In fact, that probably makes more sense than using bots to do it. So feed the hydrogen across. Put this on storage. No, but then it's almost definitely going to... But now we know that that's going to produce more hydrogen. Or not enough hydrogen. Because this is this is the point of this. It has this weird recipe. Yeah, you put 2 hydrogen in and you get 3 out, basically. So it has more output than it does input of hydrogen. And we know this is going to have more hydrogen output as well because, well, basically because we need more refined oil than we do, you know, plastic. Probably have to do something a bit more, a bit cleverer than I've done there, but we'll go with this for now. We will go with this for now. And see what happens. Oops. No. So we want... How many of these? We want 3.3, so we want 4. And then double that up to 8. So say this almost certainly going to go wrong. But we can give it a go and see how badly wrong it goes. Okay, proliferation. I mean, it's definitely going to go wrong because we've got so much overproduction of everything. Oh, that's a point. I wouldn't be proliferating this hydrogen, would I? So actually, that's a bad idea. What we really want is feed it into a splitter. Prioritize splitter, basically. So I might as well just do that. Oh, taking those off already. Because these basically need to feed into a prioritize splitter so that we can preferentially take it one way and not the other, basically. That's the issue. Level. Oh. It's R4. How's it R4 already? In fact, no, the splitter should be there, I think, shouldn't it? No, I can't set two priorities on a splitter, can I? So, splitter, splitter, splitter. Because I thought we'd get to the magma planet today, but it appears I was completely wrong. Right, so you need proliferating, you need proliferating, and so do you. And you need some juice. Into there, out to there. Across to there. If I put that... yeah. Collide. So let's put this there. Oh, that's annoying. If you're there, no, you can't reach across, can you? You can't reach across. Oh, that's annoying. Okay. Right, let's put some drones in. Got the juice across, put some drones in, set that to demand, and set that to demand, get some drones in. Fingers crossed it even works, let alone whether it's efficient. I say it's like irrelevant. I don't need it. So I wanted to try every option, and I say we might as well. See how they work, because I guess technically oil is still infinite, I think. Well, the first question is it all hooked up properly? Are you working? Oh wait, I don't need that one, do I? Why does it take that off? That's what I wonder. Because it's taken off the proliferation thing. Are you all working? I think you're all working. Cool. Now, I didn't set the priority on that, did I? So I want to prioritise that one. So it'll basically back up. Ah, it doesn't. I've got these right, hasn't it? No, I've done something wrong there with the inserters. Have I? I guess it's all going across here. Wait, if I doubled it, would that achieve what I'm after, or do I need to go even bigger? Because if I'm doubling the amount of plastic production, then that doubles that. No, that should still work. I'm not sure it does, actually, thinking about it. So I've effectively doubled two things and not the other, if that makes sense. Or I've quadrupled the demand for this, I think, but only doubled its production. First off, is everyone working? Because some of these don't look like they're moving. No, that's working. Maybe it's just a backing up issue that... No. I think we might need two of them. A bit puzzled why this is so slow though. Gloopy, 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 gloop. Oh, it's all going in here. Huh. I wonder why they're prioritising that one. That's interesting. So it's all coming out here and appears to all be going, or preferentially be going to this one. But this one's not the closest. This one's the closest. So why is it preferentially going to that one? You see, it's all 140. I've not got more drones in them. How bizarre. Maybe it's because it's been there the longest. Strange. I mean, we can limit this anyway because we don't need. Well, we don't need any of it really. But so if we put that as a half thing, and then what do you need ratio-wise? So 2:1. I mean, we'd just put them at. In fact, let's just put all of them at 2,000 and see what happens. Because then this is oversupplied. So it goes to there. It's just sort of ignoring this one, isn't it? How interesting. How interesting. Wait, if this is making carbon... What? Oh no, there we go. Going mad. I thought it didn't have carbon on the listing. So we don't need this, so it doesn't matter that it's not producing it, but it is interesting that it seems to be preferring to bring it to ones that are sort of further away first. You know, why is 210 going now and 0 going now? I could put a belt on, you know, but that is interesting behaviour. So I think I actually need to double this. I think we need this to be twice as big. Because I've got it being requested here, here, and here. And I think that's more demand than it needs. In fact, we could probably tell if we... Oh, God, this menu. No, production. Is that... I mean, it looks like it should be okay. I guess it's just filling the buffers. But yeah, that is very interesting, that. It's going into that one first. Not... Look, no, it's finally some coming this way. I wonder how it does the demand prioritization then. Oh, nothing there now. So it has got some stuff. Yeah, it looks like it's attempting to fill these two first, basically. I mean, it's even sending more there now, even though it's not only just gone less. Interesting. So is it stabilised? I say. Let's look at the terror of the production thing. So consumption is apparently ramping up. Maybe. And even though we're producing half as much again, none of it is coming this way. How bizarre. How bizarre. Because the plastic isn't really even keeping up, is it? No, it's not getting enough plastic. Am I just being bonkers with the numbers? So it should have 10... 2, 6, 8, 10 plastic. Oh, wait a minute. No, that's right. It's extra products. Yeah, extra products. Not sure I fully understand that. None there still. So over time it may well stabilise, but I think for the purposes of what I'm doing, I'll just sort of double up that build. That is interesting. Right. So we try and sort of grab that. Now what do I need to fix on that? I think I should be okay. Give that a go. Oh, it worked. Oh, lovely. Not massively impressed with the blueprinting system in this. So we need to get rid of that. And then I guess if we just the same thing. Maybe I could symmetrize it in that instead of having this going across here, we could have that going in there, hydrogen coming out of there, going in there. Oops. So priority needs to be that one. That's good. You've got juice. Oh, it just doesn't have any bolts, I think. Yeah. So I'll see if this sort of kicks it into action, basically. Can I put that somewhere where it powers everything? Nearly. So just first waiting on our first oil to come in. So this planet's got plenty of oil on it, so so we should be okay. And there's quite a few planets I'm just sort of providing oil on. Ah, looks like more's coming in now. So it could just be a maths error on my part. Well, could just be. There's a very good probability that it's a maths error on my part. And indeed, this doesn't appear to be producing enough plastic to keep this going. So it's very, very likely that the error is a maths error. I'm not quite sure why that doesn't work though. It seems to be, it doesn't seem to be 1 + 1 = 2. It appears to be 1 + 1 = 1.75. It could be the proliferation. In fact, I've not proliferated these, have I? So there's a problem. Because we're not getting quite the amount of free stuff that the maths is banking on. And that's obviously the wrong way around, because of course it is. So those should have these on here. That's definitely a mistake. So that should help out. In fact, that'd probably work out, wouldn't it? Because we would get a quarter extra, and it's about a quarter of the machines that aren't working. So that's probably what the problem there is. This is clearly just... I've added 1 and 1 and got, 1 rather than 2. There you go. This is the problem I was worried about. Because there's nowhere for the hydrogen to go. Now they can ship it to the other machines. The other machines, the interstellar ones. They can send the hydrogen to the interstellar system, but that's already massively backed up with hydrogen anyway. And this should be preferring what's already on the belts. It's just as we see here, it's all stacked up with hydrogen. Nowhere to put it, because this belt is full. I mean, how would we solve that? I have done things before where I have like loop backs. But they never seem to work quite as I intend. So basically put the output, so it's effectively looping itself round. And then we've got these two here. And this will preferentially put it out of that way. But any sort of excess, but it doesn't quite work usually. So it's like an overflow valve, but I say I don't know that it quite works like that. Put it in though. At least these are flowing now a bit. And there does appear to be some output. The other option is to put like a burner on it, like a hydrogen burner. You know, thermal fusion, thermal plant, and it will sort of burn the excess, or burn enough that it creates a gap in the belt that it will run. It does seem to be working now, though. Obviously, there's no real demand for the carbon. I'm guessing we're probably full up here, are we? Oh, nowhere near. Okay. Oh, of course it'll have been going to the home planet. Okay, cool. Right, so we've got it done. I seem to remember copying and pasting this on my other planets. Like doubling it up now. I can't remember. I'll have to go and have a look at the others. That's the. I mean, I would love to have. It'd be great if we could have a proper way of looking at the distant planets. Even if it was, you know, some like satellite system you had to do. But you can't really. I can't even remember which one I'm doing it on. Is it number 2? You know, we can zoom in like that, but I can't see what's built on that planet. And it won't. This is the other thing. They need to have some system where it tells you how much iron and stuff is left. Because, you know, I'm exploiting that solar system. Why can't I know how much is there remotely? I mean, you know, you can see the production numbers, but you can't see the amount of stuff numbers. Oh well. I'm sure all that's going to come. Okay, so I'm happy with that. As it is. Such as it is. So we want to put some of this stuff back. So it's available for other planets. So we can clear our inventory a little as well. Let's take a bit more belt. And then, what are they? Interstellars. Okay, let's put a couple of them back. Can put all the labs back. Don't need them, I don't think. Put the oil refineries back. It's probably best if we do take a bit more landfill. Or, well, we don't really need that much. Whatever happens. So, what am I doing? So, what's that? That's 200. So put them back. I'll put the labs back. Put the water pumps back, I guess. Okay. So we'll head over to the magma planet then. It might take us a little while to get there actually, because it is a fair distance. So I'll have to go and check. In fact, could we check? Is it on the way? Is red science on the way? Yes, but no. Yeah, let's go there first then. Because we'll have to double hop it, because I mean that's 12.5 light years. So get a little bit of speed up so that we can manoeuvre when we get there. And then we will warp over. Yeah, so Fridays I normally only stream, and Mondays as well, I normally stream for 2 hours. Fridays I stream sort of after work. 3 till 5, local time, GMT. And Monday, I say, is a 2-hour stream as well. That's after work. 5 till 7 usually. Usually get to bunk off Friday afternoons. And I stream Dyson Sphere Program, this series, where I'm trying to build this, my first proper Dyson Sphere. I should show you actually, since we're warping over. If anyone's not seen. But that's Zubanel Ganubi. Is my home system. So I've got the first shell done, basically the first layers of the shell done, but I need to do the researches to do the extra shells, but research is basically stopped. Whoa, wait a minute. Seem to have blasted past it. That was a lot quicker than I thought it was going to be. About to run out of juice. Let's see how far this puts us away. Yeah, science is stopped. Oh, we're a fair distance. Science is stopped. Is it 2? Or 3? Or 1, rather. I think it's 2 where we've got the science. Nuts. Yeah, and it's all stopped, basically. And I've done virtually all the techs, apart from the very end game stuff. But I'm basically setting up a set of systems with science in them, more as an experiment than anything else. See how it handles logistics and how the performance works. Performance has been quite good. It doesn't seem to have mattered that much as I've scaled up. I mean, it doesn't run great on my ancient system, but performance seems to have not been badly affected by setting all these planets up. Can I get a bit quicker? Yeah. It's really interesting, but also things like that local demand thing. I don't quite understand what the logic it's using there is. I say we don't have any way of controlling that, so it's useful information. Right, we'll crash here. I'll go and stand in the rechargey thing. See if we can get a bit more juice. And then... Oh, I didn't even put any concrete down on this. No, so I didn't double it up. So it's just literally the one build for the 120 science. Cool. Okay. That's not a problem. So yellow science is done, basically. So we need to go here. We'll probably literally arrive just as I plan to end, but let's get ourselves charged up first. Make sure we're fully topped up there and there. Yeah, so plan probably on Monday then, as I didn't think it would take that long, but plan on Monday. I will probably try and set the logistics cap in thing that I always do up on the magma planet. But the plan will be to exploit that, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to get it to make even more charged batteries for us. Accumulators. So we need a whole bunch of production relating to, because my plan or my theory is to make the accumulators locally. Not to ship them in. Obviously, the ones that are discharged we will ship back, but not to ship them in, from home planet, which is the only place they're being made. But we'll make the accumulators locally because it's a fairly complicated build. It's obviously iron, but then it's the blue rings, which are, fairly complicated. And then these guys, the crystal silicon, which is not that complicated. We can maybe even use fractal silicon. Not done that recipe yet. And obviously I've already made a whole load of those, so we can make, we can have a great big production area of batteries. But the real issue will be making these at a decent rate, because we probably want like 2 a second, so it's 10, which is then, how many of these? So we would need to be making 10 of these a second, and they take 3 seconds each, so we're talking 30 just making them. So we're going to get, it's quite a big production. We may end up making the components, so the blue magnets, on a different planet in that system, because I want to maximize the amount of magma, charge generation, as it were, because it's basically free as I understand it. You don't have to put in any products, and I've made a load of them, so we should be able to just saturate that planet with as many as we can, and we'll see how much power we can get out, and then see how much charging we can support, because these are very slow to charge. Again, I'm kind of doing this more out of curiosity and experimentation than anything else, because the suns is a much better way of doing power, basically, because it doesn't take up hardly any room. It's not got weird complications like the charging does. Right, so we're now at full minute. I hope this is the right place. we don't turn up here and there's no magma planet. That'd be a bit of a bummer note to end on. Yeah, but otherwise, in terms of other streaming schedule, I'll be back tomorrow to play some Factorio. I think I'm going to continue the Crash Storio 2 series. As I've been enjoying that a heck of a lot more than I thought I was going to, based on my previous experience. Where are we? So there's the sun. Right, so is this the one that we're after? And which one is it? So that's got crude oil, lovely. Okay. Arid desert, so it's not that one. Lava, there we go. Lava. So let's see if we can get over there. Run out of power. But this one's also quite awesome. It's got loads of magma. Whether it's properly exploitable or not, I don't know. But it's also got 56 billion iron and 48 million copper. 3.5 million silicon. Yet more titanium. What I'm going to do with all that titanium, I don't know. Stone and the kind of token coal. So yeah, so what I'll do, I say hopefully by Monday, is I will put my little. Oh look, I built that so it would flag it on the map. But yeah, we'll hopefully put my little things on, my end pieces, so that we can bring materials in. And in fact, let's go and stand by that so I can charge a little bit quicker, so that we're ready to go. But let's say the plan on this planet is to exploit all this magma, and then that's quite a big area there, isn't it? And that's not too bad. I've got so much stone as well. I'm probably just going to start hiding some of the veins, because I don't really see any point exploiting it all, because it has so little use. And I've got so much of it in general. And obviously I can't see how much there is on all these other planets. But we know we've got oil there. Oh, and spiniform stalagmites as well. Oh, it's another water world as well. Okay, interesting. Okay. And then what's that? Oh, and that's another 15 million iron. So that's great. Oh, and 24.9 billion silicon. Perfect. So we may end up like building maybe the whatever it calls them, blue engines on that planet maybe. If we exploit the water world, it would just be to get at. That's not the water world. Where's the water world? There's the water world. That'll be to get at the oil and those, I guess, the stalagmites. You know, for other usage. And there seems to be quite a lot of coal there as well. Okay. So that'll be for export, basically. But, say, between them, we should be able to make loads of batteries. So potentially I can have this planet basically being, you know, purely... I mean, there is quite a bit of building area. Purely being the power production, or charging. Power production and charging. And then maybe we build the batteries on one of the other planets. Cool. Okay, so yeah, that's it for me for today. So I'll be back tomorrow and Sunday with Factorio. Definitely doing Questorio 2 tomorrow. I fancy maybe doing something on the Blueprints series on Sunday. It might end up being another test run because I've done a lot of tweaks to the blueprints. So I need to see how they work. Have I done a lot of tweaks to the blueprints? I think I did. I think I fixed some of the problems. But yeah, we could maybe try and get to trains this time. Although that's quite a bit for 3 hours. Yeah, so I say that's it for me for today. I will just flash up the schedule. Just to show it's up there. If you wanted to catch up on any of my series, or any of the VODs, or any of my past series, my Megabase attempt, my No Spoon run, what else is there? The Aesthetic Factorio series, my Blueprint series, but more series that you can sensibly shake a stick at. Or this series, or my Satisfactory stream, which is on hiatus while I finish the Dyson Sphere. Then you can find me on YouTube. It is Trismegistus, but it's alias to Triggles. And you can also follow me on Twitter if you really wanted to. But otherwise, follows on Twitch for notifications on when I go live. But it's basically, as it says up there, Friday, Saturday and Sunday at 3 o'clock, Monday at 5 o'clock for building and management type games. So all it leaves for me to say is if you've been watching, I hope you've enjoyed it and you might consider coming back for another one. I've been Trismegistus. This has been Dyson Sphere Program. Thanks for watching. Cheers.